hear.
So, and I believe everything has been permitted because I didn't see anything that was caused any sort of red flags. Oh, we got husband.
I'm videotaping.
Oh, just video.
He's not on,
Oh.
So
yeah.
my husband, I know he'd really like to hear this, but he has calls right now, so
Absolutely.
we're just videotaping, so he can,
No worries.
watch the video at some point later.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can always give me a call directly. My phone number is going to be on the front page of the report.
Okay.
I think I have enough time in between this one and the next one that I should be able to get it done for you before noon.
Oh,
So-
good.
Great.
And then he can go ahead and read through it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he'll actually probably be able to read through it as we're going through the report. So. We're gonna take a look at a few photos here on the report. Most of the photos that I have in here are gonna be reference photos. So our columns. No problems with our columns, just in here for reference. So you're gonna see me skip over that. Other items we can't see, and that's why we're looking at the computer. Like in our attic. Our attic is all structurally sound, clean and dry. Now, let's go and stop with this last photo here. This side of the house was all added on. So I think this corner right here is the old
Yeah.
rear portion of the house. It could have been extended out a little bit further to like here was the old so this was the old exterior wall here.
Okay.
And they took that down, right? And then the entire right side's been all added on. When the entire right side has been added on, the access to get over to the old original roof was taken out as well. This was probably a carport, and then there was probably a division. There might have been a little laundry room or something that was over here. So you'll see that in other similar Arcadia houses. Maybe a breezeway that went to the backyard, with a laundry room, and then a carport. Well, they took all that out. So the reason of our 2 levels of our ceiling is unknown because the way to get into the old roof is you have to snake yourself into this hole and then go into the old roof. And that's going to be basically right where this is.
Right, okay.
So I'm not exactly sure the cause of this, but I'm sure it has something to do with the addition.
Okay.
So,
Do you see any other like long-term complications due to the fact that it's so hard to get to such a low pitch roof line? Like, if something were to come up in the future, is there?
no,
No.
because for the most part, I'm going to send Billy around right now just to make sure that our splits are good. So, he's going to check the air temperature as the air goes into the system at our return, where we're going to change out our air filters, and then he's going to test it at all the supplies in all the rooms. If we're getting good balance and good temperature splits throughout, then for the most part, that's the only reason you would need to get up there, unless you want to do some sort of can lighting. So, and then if you were to add that in, I would just basically say, the center of the house, where the ridge line is, right, and maybe that left rear bedroom closet, go up through the bedroom closet, that way you're not kind of tearing up the walls here. And you're at the tallest part of the short roof. We're gonna see the roof here in just a second.
Okay.
They do have some personal property up in the attic, so I always recommend, I like to put this into my report, just so that way when they get a copy of the report, they're like, oh, we
Yeah.
forgot we had that stuff
Yeah.
up there.
Don't want to leave that gift.
Now, if there's like gold Cougarins or something in there, then they can leave it all day long, right? An old Picasso that's hidden and got
Right,
forgotten
yeah, that
about.
would be sweet.
Alright. But it's all 2011, so there's nothing crazy in there. Alright, other stuff that I skip over, we're gonna talk about as we walk around. But I just wanna focus on the stuff that we can't see. And now we're going on the roof. Roof's in great shape. 2011, or probably replaced same time that they did the addition, 2011. Dimensional shingled roof. I'm looking for any defects, wear, damage to any of our shingles. It's all in great shape. Great ventilation. You can see all the dormer vents. We even have ridge vents up top, and then some gable end vents as we go along. So the roof, the flat or the not as pitched portion of the original house is still present, And then we get the higher pitch here. So there's really not gonna be a whole lot of room up here in general to really do anything, except for ducking. And that's probably why there's, once they kinda did all that, they're like, we don't need to get back up here because it's all good. All the lights that we need in are in. So it would only be if there was a roof leak, but our roof's in great shape, or if we wanted to do any modifications. And if you did do any modifications, then they say, okay, well, you can get up into the roof yourself. The newer portion is all gonna be, like I said, there should be permits on this. I imagine that you're gonna be able to go online, find these permits through the city of Phoenix.
Yeah, I think
Anything-
Ben already found
Yeah.
him, yeah.
Anything over 1995 is actually gonna be easily accessed online. You might even be able to figure out through the blueprints and the permits, exactly why that little differential is there. So that was one of
You can
our,
access the blueprints, cause I know he just looked at sign off, like, just kinda
Right.
like the log of sign off.
Yeah, I don't know if they have them, or, they must, cause they have to file them, so.
now the original portion of the house, the old plumbing used to be a cast iron black pipe. So that cast iron black pipe, most of the time is in great shape and there's no issues with it. Sometimes that black pipe can go ahead and elongate, sometimes create some bellies, and sometimes even crack or even separate. And because of that, we want to go ahead and ensure and kind of see if there's any issues with it. If there is any issues and it's out in the dirt, then you're just digging up some dirt, not that big of a deal. If it's underneath the old concrete slab,
It's more invasive.
then all of a sudden now you're talking about removing tiles or redoing a bathroom or something like that in order to get the fix. So here, the house looks like everything is ABS. So in the bathrooms, on the roof, all of our vents, obviously the new portion of the house is all gonna be ABS, so it's mostly just concerning the older portion, which the kitchen probably was in your general area where you're standing somewhere around here, and then the bathroom would have had that black cast iron piping. They might have documentation saying that, hey, it was all replaced with black ABS, and it was part of the remodel. If they do, great. If not, then I just recommend, or if it's questionable, then I do recommend that we throw a camera down there, just to kind of ensure that it's still in good shape. And if there isn't, then you'll be aware of any sort of defects or any sort of abnormalities underneath there. All right, master sink drains. So we see these growths here. So you can even see some water dripping or water lines where it dripped down. What's happening here is it's a small seepage leak. So as water's slowly seeping out these areas, when it hits the air, it evaporates. When it evaporates, it leaves behind all minerals, debris, particulates that's in the water, and that's why you start to see these growths here. This is happening at both master sink drains. The nice part is that these are drains, so they're not under pressure, so it's fairly easy to fix. Water heaters. You'll see the water heater up as we walk around.
It looked like there was some work going on in the garage near there. at the house
Yesterday, yeah.
yesterday.
Did it look all buttoned up,
Yeah.
the water
right
heater?
here
Yeah, so they
In the
might.
middle of doing anything. It is a 2011 model, so they didn't replace it.
Okay,
And do you think though, I mean, like water heaters, do they last about 10 years? So we're
So-
probably gonna have to replace that.
So 8 to 12 years is typical. Though I've run into the random one that made it 30-something years. So
Okay.
there's no issues currently with it. No evidence of leakage, no evidence of failure, and it's producing great hot water. So there's no reason to even consider replacing it at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe consider having a good home warranty in case it does decide to go out. And then also keep in mind, and I was going to talk about this out there, there's a gas stub there. So you have the ability,
what?
gas stub.
Uh-huh.
So right now it's an electric water heater.
oh, it
You have
is.
the ability
Oh.
to switch it when you go to the next one.
Get an electric, yeah,
So
or
do a
gas,
one.
yeah.
And if you really want to kind of get fancy to kind of fit with the house, you can go tankless
The
gas.
instant hot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't go tankless electric yet. The electric tankless isn't quite up to speed,
Okay.
but the gas tankless is. You can chat with the plumber about those options.
Okay.
But again, that might be a few years down the road. All right, up on our roof, Rooftop packaged heat pump. This guy is a 2019 model, so replaced last year. 4-ton, in good shape. How are we on our splits?
Perfect.
All right.
All the way around.
And it's not a gas pack?
No, it's not a gas pack.
Oh, okay.
So it is a rooftop
So it's all
packaged heat
electric.
pump.
Oh, it's all electric.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why would they do that? Are they cheaper?
So that's what I was just explaining to him. The only gas appliance that we have is our gas dryer.
So
currently,
funny.
There's no gas stub behind
Behind the stove, okay.
So I thought it was weird that they have the gas meter, which is out back. They ran gas to
I know,
these
that's
two places, but
crazy.
didn't stop and put one in here.
Right.
But
And is that
additionally
the part of
they-
the roof they would have trouble getting to? If they wanted to go down and put gas for the stove? Or could they probably get to it?
I don't. No. This is the higher pitched roof.
Oh, okay.
So going through the attic wouldn't be as bad, except for that initial trying
Right.
to snake your way through that little small area. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to think of how they would have ran it. Like if they would have went under.
Well, they ran, you can see they ran it up and
Oh, there's
through
one
the
up there?
ceiling. Yeah, or through the top of the,
So yeah,
Wall
so it's
outside.
gonna run somewhere kind of in this general direction, whether or not they went straight over and then kind of went over. So you'll be able to kind of tee off up there sometime.
okay.
Plumber will be a good resource on that.
And where is the scuttle?
I will show you
Okay.
as we walk around. Alright. So even though our AC is in great shape, we do want to make sure to get this guy cleaned and serviced. So, less than a year old. If you have a good home warranty, warranties like to see that it's serviced in accordance with the manufacturer's cleaning recommendations, which on a heat pump is going to be every 6 months. So every spring and every fall.
Servicing it every 6 months. Okay.
So, on heat pumps, and generally you can kind of get away with that. You doing it once a year on a heat pump in the early stages of its life, and then as it gets older, you definitely want to stick with that twice a year. This one's only a year old, so and maybe not even a full year old. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, so year and a half old. So April of 2019.
Okay.
Insulation, plenty of insulation, including over the garage, which is nice. It means that mini split won't have to work so hard. And then good ventilation, we already chatted about. Laundry dryer lint vent looks good. All right, let's go ahead and take a walk around. Teach you all about the house.
Okay.
We'll start on the outside, and we'll eventually end up on
Can
the
you break this
interior.
up in a couple segments, like turn
Sure.